Hi, I'm Marty Levinson.
I'm Karen Levinson.
Welcome to live election coverage with Northtown News Magazine, production by Sonny Hersh, and your host, Avi Meyers.
Thank you, Marty. Marty and Karen, it's so great that you were able to be here. We thank you so much. Welcome to the Sonny Hersh election special, which is being aired live this very minute. You are watching us live on CAN TV 19 in Chicago. It was only 2 degrees below zero on the way here this morning. Lovely warm day. But you know what? We've got lots of good coverage for you. First of all, I want to thank Sonny Hersh, who ordinarily is usually our entire technical crew. But today, we want to give an extra special thanks to Keith McDonald, who's with him, who's joining us. And, of course, say hi to Marty Levinson and Karen Levinson, who just joined us to make sure that we had an official opening to the show. And we've got a wide range of guests for you today. Matter of fact, today, we've got 5 different guests. We've got 2 in studio. We've got Commissioner Larry Suffredin, who's running for State's Attorney of Cook County on the Democratic side of the ballot, as well as Cynthia Santos, who's running for re-election for the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. We'll also be having call-ins from Alderman Berny Stone. We'll have Judge Alan Griman, Judge Michael Hyman, and Tom Byrne, who's the chief prosecutor out in Rolling Meadows, who is running for a separate judgeship. And, of course, joining me is my co-host, as always for these live election shows, Jim Nally. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Avi. It's great to be live.
Yeah, it's always a fun, it's always a kick, it's always a thrill. And thanks to all the folks at Chicago Access. And let's get things rolling because we've got a big election coming. So I'd like to introduce our very first guest, the commissioner of the 13th District of Cook County, who served us so ably, who, after that Sun-Times endorsement, not to mention the endorsement. Oh, and by the way, Jewish Chicago, my paper, available free all over the place right now. It is available free. Well, actually starting Monday at all the newsstands. But you know what? If you're on the web, okay, go to our TV show website for the Sonny Hersh election special and also our regular TV show, which is on Thursday, 7:30, Friday, 2:30 on Channel 19 at CAN TV. That's ntnm.org, ntnm.org. And this publication can be viewed in its entirety right now. It is a pleasure and privilege to introduce you to, hopefully, the next State's Attorney of Cook County, Larry Suffredin. Larry?
Hi, Avi, how are you? Jim, how are you? It's good to be alive with both of you.
And it's a busy campaign day.
It is. We're down now to 17 days before the election, so we're running all kind of places, and when it's below zero, it makes it difficult to go and knock on a few doors.
Well, hopefully, the warmth of your speech will bring religion to the people in your next stops after this.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is, a big campaign because we're running countywide. I tell people that if we were a state, we'd be the 17th largest state, so it's a huge territory, and we're expecting a huge turnout. Jim and I were talking earlier. We expect it'll be over 700,000 people just here in Cook County. That may be about 100,000 more than normal, and obviously the presidential race and the excitement of that race is bringing people out, but hopefully they'll remember the state's attorney's race. And
the state's attorney, the entire court system in Cook County is actually the second largest in the United States?
We're the second largest county and the second largest prosecutor's office with 950 lawyers, and that's a lot of lawyers, and this job is as much an administrative job because you have to train those lawyers, you have to give them clear policies, and then you have to make sure that the uniformity of justice, that their decisions that are made in the Rolling Meadows courthouse, where Tom Byrne, who's going to call in later, is the chief prosecutor, are the same as those in the Markham or Bridgeview or any of the Chicago courthouses.
Yeah, and they're 40 miles apart. It's a big county.
It's a huge county, a lot of miles on the car in this run. But, I've had the opportunity to raise issues with people. People are concerned about the number of guns that are in our community and the inability to be able to go out and do the simple things in life, walking around your neighborhood shopping without the fear of being injured by guns, and we're going to go after the source of those guns if I'm elected. And secondly, people are very concerned about the public corruption aspects, that nobody seems to be on the state side and the county side looking to try to protect the treasury of the people so that there are dollars for the programs we need.
Which is extremely important. Now, people don't realize also that first of all, the corruption is a very important angle. There's no question. And the fact is, too, that this is also larger than any law firm going.
Absolutely. I mean, this is an administrative task to be able to motivate these lawyers, train these lawyers, and as I said, get them to make judgments that are equal. We also have a need in this office to have the the staff get out of the courthouses and into the communities to listen to the people in the communities to find out what they really are concerned about. If it's guns, gangs, and drugs, we'll go after that with them and make sure that those who violate the law go to the penitentiary. But if it's environmental issues, if it's mortgage predators, payday loan predators, we will make sure this office begins to develop strategies to help make neighborhoods stronger and safe.
Yeah, see, the payday loan predators in particular, I would love to see something being done about, because it really is, I mean, somebody can be borrowing $200 and the next thing you know, it works its way into the thousands.
Well, and you know, what's going on in the world markets because of the subprime mortgages kind of relates to this, because what you've done is you've extended credit in an unfair way to a lot of people and not told them that there is a way at the back end of the loan in which they're going to pay 3 and 4 and 5, maybe 100 times more than you would if it was a normal loan.
Which is totally ridiculous.
Let me ask you, Larry, with the presidential race, how do you keep this race in the forefront? How do you let people know that this is an important office, that it's an important decision they're making in electing somebody to this office?
Well, we've been trying to use all of the normal ways, reaching out to people, mail. We're now on television with ads, and we'll be running these ads through February 5th. But we've been looking to see who are these extra voters who are going to come out. And my guess is, based upon the registration and the polling we've been able to do, they're going to be younger people who have been motivated by the presidential candidates, especially Senator Obama. They are people who want a message of change. They want a government that's more responsive to them. And I think that my message in this campaign it resonates with them, because they see my record on the county board as having stood up to the powers that were in charge of the county board, fighting for reasonable services for our people and against unfair taxation. So I think that at this point, I'm hoping that the person-to-person contact, the internet contact, and now television will be the way we reach all these people.
And it's a multiple candidate race. You have a number of well-qualified candidates running. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you win this race?
Well, I think that I win it by running a county-wide race, and I really believe I'm the only one of the candidates who is really reaching out to every part. I have the support of Representative Karen Yarborough up in Proviso Township and her organization, and then Senator Don Harmon and the Oak Park Democrats. And then we come down the west side where I have Secretary of State Jesse White and Alderman Walter Burnett and Senator Ricky Hendon and former Cook County Board President Bobby Steele. And then you go to the lakefront where as I go north, I have Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky and all of the elected officials, the aldermen from Tom Tunney to Helen Schiller to Marianne Smith to Joe Moore to Bernie Stone, and then into the suburbs with Senator Schoenberg and Julie Hamos, Karen May, Representative Neckritz, Senator Garrett, Mike Kreloff's operation in Northfield Township, Maine Township with Laura Murphy, Wheeling Township with Pat Botterman, Palatine Township with Sue Walton. Then we come back into the city, and I have the support of Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., and as we go south, we're picking up the mayors. Mayor Lindsey Jones out in Olympia Fields is helping us put together, and tomorrow I will formally have the announcement, we've announced it today, of Luis Gutierrez, the congressman from the city, along with Commissioners Maldonado, Senator Willie Delgado, Representative Cynthia Soto, and Alderman Ricardo Munoz. So I'm looking to have every progressive vote there is out there, votes in every part of the county, and I believe that the message of change that I have and the message of independence, which is what people want, that I can help restore the confidence of the people in the criminal justice system.
That's really an extremely impressive array of individuals. And I want to point out to the people that are not, that don't know all the names of all the different political people that Commissioner Suffredin just mentioned, that you were talking some extraordinarily diverse people on different sides of the poll. Some of these people, some of the people supporting him are actually running against each other, and the only thing they can agree on is that they all want to see Commissioner Suffredin be the next state's attorney.
You know, and I forgot our good friend Representative Lou Lang in the Niles Township Democrats, which is one of the biggest suburban votes. I also have been fortunate to get the Independent Voters of Illinois' endorsement, the Brady Campaign Against Handgun Violence's endorsement, Citizen Action's endorsement. I have the two of the largest unions in the area, ASME and SEIU, which also have a phenomenally diverse membership, which is helping me reach out to every neighborhood within Chicago and the suburbs.
So, other than sleep, you're on the campaign trail all day?
We're on the campaign trail all day. We'll go tonight, I think, till about 10 o'clock. So this is my first stop. I'm actually ending the night with a live show here.
Really?
At Green Street, this studio. You know, because Jim asked, how do you reach out? shows like yours are extremely important because we're reaching hundreds and hundreds and thousands of voters, depending upon which time slot they're watching your show and which repeat of your show. So I am grateful to you for having me on, and I'm grateful that you're putting some emphasis on this race and the water reclamation race. It'll be the next one, because with multiple candidates and with the presidential people eating up all of the political oxygen, it's important for other candidates like us to be able to express our views and talk to the people that you have watching this show today.
Which is great. And by the way, you can watch all of our shows, too, on YouTube. This particular show will be on live later today. If you go to our website for this show and for the regular Northtown News Magazine show at ntnm.org, you'll be able to watch the show live later. And by the way, this Thursday at 7:30, right here on CAN TV, we have Commissioner Larry Suffredin again, with a different appearance for State's Attorney. So make sure you absolutely, positively tune into that.
And please make sure you vote. Jim and I were talking about the early voting. The numbers are really running way ahead of anything we've seen previously, though. David Orr, when we first did early voting, told us that it would take 3 to 4 election cycles for people to understand that this is a convenience. And so I think what we're seeing is that people now understand it's so much easier than waiting for February 5th when the temperature might be -3. Oh, I guess it's -3 today, so maybe we'll wait till February 5th when hopefully it'll be warmer.
Yeah, I mean, I put out my publication earlier this year because of early voting, and I know in the 50th Ward at Warren Park, where people can vote already, they had something like 75 people voted the first day, 65 the second day, which far surpasses the numbers. And you're saying that county-wide right now?
The numbers are huge.
Yeah. The first day of early voting, over 3,000 people voted.
Wow. And by the way, let me point out, because I didn't introduce him properly, Jim Nally, right, that's him, is the leading election lawyer in the state of Illinois. Probably in the universe, but at least in the Chicago area.
Well, absolutely. And Jim understands all the nuances that putting together an electoral process takes. And I think that, at this point, it looks like both Cook County Clerk David Orr's office and the Board of Elections office are prepared for this large turnout that we're going to have. I don't think we'll see running out of ballots and other logistical problems on Election Day. I think we're prepared for this onslaught of people. And it's wonderful because here we have troops fighting overseas to give people democracy, and we're going to finally see turnouts that are comparable to what other Western democracies turn out in their normal election cycle.
And I can't begin to tell you how important that really is. It really is. And last message to the voters?
Punch 59, Larry Suffredin for State's Attorney. And if you want change and you want to go after the guns that are in our community and the source of those guns, and you want to try to fight public corruption, I'm the candidate that'll do that. Thank you very much.
And let me just tell everybody, too, that, and first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't think there's any question whatsoever that Commissioner Suffredin, of the 6 candidates, stands out far and above the rest. The alliances he's built and all the rest of it, he's just really the right person for the job. It's time to get somebody who understands all the different nuances. And, I want to wish him well, and you're off to churches all over the land.
I am. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you, and thank you very much. And okay, so first of all, Jim, so what do you think?
Well, as we were talking earlier, Larry and I think the early voting is really a good barometer of the enormous turnout that we're going to have in this election.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And the fact of the matter is that at this point in time, Sonny, switch over to me. And at this point in time, we're going to welcome our second guest. We're going to welcome Cynthia Santos, who is the commissioner who is a 2-term incumbent commissioner of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. And this is a most interesting election because you've got a situation where you've got so many people on the ballot. Let me remind you also that Jewish Chicago is now available free. First of all, you're going to find it free on the web right now by going to the show website at ntnm.org. We'll tell you how to get there. It's free everywhere, so please pick it up. And that's going to start hitting the newsstands Monday, and we'll be all over the place. And, it's and also our regular TV show Thursday at 7:30 on CAN TV 19. And all of our shows are on YouTube. At this point, we've got something like 19,000 shows have already been watched. Today's show will be on the web live later today. And if you go to our website at ntnm.org, you'll have all the directions there to send you to YouTube to be able to watch the shows. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the two-term commissioner running for a third term of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, Cynthia Santos. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Well, okay, nice to be here.
Morning.
Jim. Nice to be here with you.
So,
Thank you for having me.
first of all, my pleasure. And why don't you explain to us a little bit about what the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District does?
Well, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District treats sewage and rainwater and provides a necessary service to the residents of Cook County.
Basically, if you guys don't do your job, it's people's basements and all the rest of it are going to get pretty
Dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Yeah, we're the largest treatment facility in the world, and the plant in Stickney is the largest. So, and as Commissioner Suffredin said, being the second largest county, we treat about 1 billion gallons of wastewater a day.
Wow.
So, it's quite a lot.
Now, Commissioner, you've been a two-term commissioner. You're seeking a third term.
That's correct.
And I know that you've chaired the Finance Committee, which is obviously a very important role in any government office. One of the things that I know the Water Reclamation District is known for is its excellent bond rating. Can you talk a little bit about your work as Finance Chairman and how you help achieve that?
Actually, I'm the chairman of the
Budget Committee,
yeah.
okay.
And yes, we do have. We have the highest bond rating by the three major bonding authorities, Fitch and Standards, Moody's and Poor's, AAA bond rating, which we're the only governmental agency that can say that in the state of Illinois. So we're very proud of that. Our budget, we balance our budget every year. It's $1 billion budget approximately, and we operate in the black. So we're very proud of that.
And you should be, because obviously the taxpayers are the people who pay these bills, and you got to be concerned about that.
Right. We're getting ready to. We've done over $2 million in tax abatements over the last few years, and we're getting ready to do another one in the spring. So the money will actually come back to the taxpayers. I think we're the only body that can say, the only government agency that can brag about that too. So we're happy about that.
And again, as a long-term commissioner, you've seen a lot of growth in the district since you've been on the board. Green is the new thing now. Tell us how the district fits into the whole green.
Green's a new color. Yes, the district is taking a leadership role in greening Cook County. We've got a program for rain barrel program. Rain barrels can be purchased through the district at a cost of $40 a barrel, which is about half the cost of it. We pick up the other half. And residents can disconnect their downspouts and attach them to the rain barrels and help the community, help the environment, and save that rainwater to wash their cars or water their lawns or water their gardens inside or out. So we're doing that. We're the first governmental agency to have fleet vehicles that are fully electric.
Really?
Yeah, we have 30 of them.
Wow.
And we just purchased those. In fact, I was on WGN radio a few weeks ago bragging about it. And the cars can go up to 40 miles an hour. They're used, within our treatment facility to transport employees or packages and equipment. And they can go on a charge of about 120 miles before you got to recharge them.
Wow.
These cars are going to be available for the general public in about 4 years. And they'll go up to 80 miles an hour and have a 400-mile lifespan on one charge. So we're proud to be able to be the government agency that's putting those in the forefront. So we're excited about that.
That's extremely impressive.
So we're doing everything we can. We need to be leaders in greening. We're environmentalists. We're very concerned about the environment. I believe since the Deep Tunnel project went into operation, we've gotten cleaned up the Chicago River. There's now almost 70 different species of fish that are in the Chicago River. So it's all because of the Deep Tunnel and the work that we do at the district.
What's the status of the Deep Tunnel? Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, the Deep Tunnel, the boring of the tunnel is completed. We completed that earlier this year. So all 119 miles is completed. We're still excavating the Thornton and the McCook reservoirs. The transitional reservoir is in place, so we are taking water in the Thornton Reservoir. And, of course, the O'Hare Cup Reservoir has been operational for the last few years. So we're getting there. It's a huge project. And most of the money comes from the federal government. So that's, in itself, is a big job to keep going to Washington and lobby for those dollars. And we've been successful every year. With the help of some of our other elected officials, the congressmen who know the need to keep this project going, how important it is for the residents of Cook County. So,
and this is, as Avi said, this is what helps people keep their basements dry, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's without the Deep Tunnel, we would be dumping into Lake Michigan. Not only does it keep the basements dry, but We've only had one incident of having to dump into Lake Michigan in the last 5 years. And before the deep tunnel, as most people watching this will know, we're dumping on a regular basis. So we're really helping the environment.
And what do you envision the next 6 years? You're back on the board. What are your plans? What do you see as the big issues?
We were successful this year, or last year in Springfield, to become the lead agency in stormwater management. What that means is that, since we have the engineering know-how and the great technical staff and, frankly, the balanced budget to handle this project, we're going to be bringing some help to local municipalities as well as Chicago in updating their storm capability, which means if they need help with infrastructure. One example is in Des Plaines, the Big Bend that floods all the time from the river. They've got a plan that they need to put in place. We're going to help them with getting the plan in place. And this is all projects that the residents of Cook County want. We've established watershed councils so that the community could decide which projects are priority. And we'll take the advice of the community. So that's one very, very important plan. Also finishing the deep tunnel. That's got to be a priority. Over the next 6 years, we have to get that completed. And, becoming a lot more environmentally conscious. I think we've taken great steps, but there's still more we can do.
Well, I think you emphasized something, too, is that it's the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, and I think sometimes people just think it's Chicago, and we talk about the Chicago River, and the suburban communities obviously are a big part of this, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, we run as district-wide candidates, all 9 of us, because our mission is not according to wards or senatorial districts or any type of districts. It's a county-wide mission. So it's important that we cover the entire county and everybody is treated, equally. So.
And I would imagine with some of the expertise that the district has, it can help a smaller community that maybe doesn't have the resources to have the engineering capabilities that a larger entity would have.
Right. Well, the district is world-renowned for the engineering staff that we have there. I can't take credit for that. None of the commissioners can take credit for that. We have probably the best staff in government. We really do. And we attract engineers from all over. I mean, people want to come work for our agency. We get awards, yearly from not only for our financial standings, but for our engineering achievements. And, we've got a very, very good reputation across the world. So we've got a great technical staff.
Well, I think it's remarkable, Avi, that, in a time when so many governments are looking for sources of revenue and running deficits, we've got Commissioner Santos, who has chaired the Budget Committee, and they've got a balanced budget, and they're rebating tax dollars back. That's got to be really one of a kind.
No question, it's remarkable. And I also want to point out that, speaking of the engineering that Commissioner Santos was just talking about, before the tunnels were built under the English Channel, the British and the French came and used our deep tunnel system here as their model for the 333-mile tunnels that they spent a lot more money than the Water Reclamation District is constructing.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, they learn from the best, right?
Absolutely, and it definitely works, and you've won awards all over the place. As a matter of fact, it's interesting because the single most watched television show we have on the web is when President Terry O'Brien, who's a big supporter of yours, as you know,
yes,
and Kathleen Meany also, took us down to the deep tunnel. And that particular show where we spent all day, Jim and I were down there, and we spent all day, that show is available at engineering libraries and construction libraries all over the world. You have bookmarks, to show what's going on in the deep tunnel over there.
Did you put the big waders on, Avi, and go in with them?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did.
Did you go down in the elevator or in a bucket?
Oh, we went in. As a matter of fact, a crane picked us up in a, it hooked the top of the cage and it sent us down. I will send you the link, as a matter of fact, later today.
When I went down the tunnel, I went down on one similar to your and with waiters up to here and in a bucket, and it's amazing, isn't it? It really is amazing.
It was like being in a different planet.
Yeah, it's truly amazing.
And it's actually 300 feet down. It's 56 degrees, constant temperature all year round down there.
Well, that would be balmy today, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. 56 would be wonderful today.
Balmy.
Yeah, it was like a vacation. It was like being in another world for the day.
Yeah, well, the district is a wonderful agency, and with my campaign, as Commissioner Suffredin said, it's it's difficult to get across Cook County. It's huge, but I've been endorsed by all of labor, which is very, very important to me because those are the working class people in the county, and they know how successful I've been in representing them, and they're willing to endorse me. So I'm excited about that.
Now, there are going to be a number of candidates on the ballot for this office. Where do you fit on the ballot? What's your number, and how people find you?
I'm number 49, and I'm 5th on the ballot, smack dab in the middle. So should be easy to find.
49, 5th on the ballot, also endorsed by Jewish Chicago, available free all over the place. And, there's a whole bunch of people that really think highly of you, of course. And, running the budget, like Jim was saying, it's just a remarkable achievement to have an efficient government agency. It just doesn't exist outside
Not in this day and age, yeah. So, especially in the state of Illinois, we've got a lot of work to do here in Illinois.
Yeah. Well, at this stage, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Cynthia Santos,
Pleasure.
I want to wish you luck,
Pleasure.
and I'll be voting for you. That's 49?
49.
Okay, so make sure everybody mark ballot 49 on your ballot for Commissioner Cynthia Santos. And, let's make sure we return her and also Kathleen Therese Meany to the Water Reclamation Board, because they're two of the real foundations that make it such a wonderful, efficient agency.
Thank you.
And at this point, this is, Commissioner Santos is our last call-in guest. And I want to remind all of you that this show is going to be on the web later today. Oh, and very bad Avi. Okay, first of all, hi to Talia. I just want to say hi and thank you so much for watching. And I want to thank my entire staff, which is Sonny Hersh, together with Keith McDonald. And actually, this is Sonny Hersh's election special. And we hope you'll check it out on the web at ntnm.org. We've got, besides for Alderman Stone coming up, we've also got 2 judges. And we've actually got 2 judges and a judicial candidate. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome the Alderman of the 50th Ward, the Vice Mayor of the City of Chicago, the Chairman of the Buildings Committee, and the Ward Committeeman of the 50th Ward, Alderman Bernard Stone. Alderman Stone, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Avi. How are you?
Real good, thanks. And thank you so much for taking the time out to call in today.
Well, it's my pleasure, and of course, it's always been my pleasure to appear on your TV show. Where's our friend with the scissors?
Oh, Marty introduced the show, as a matter of fact. Marty and his wife, Karen, were actually here at 10:30 introducing the show. So, and Marty wishes you well also. Marty, if Marty lived in the 50th, he'd be voting for you. He's out in Skokie.
Well, I'm very happy to have him as a resident of the 50th.
So I am a resident of the 50th, and Jewish Chicago, of course, is hitting the stands tomorrow, and we've got a picture of you on the cover together with Hillary Clinton. And, of course, we are endorsing your candidacy.
Thank you.
And, let's talk about the race. Let's talk about the election.
Good.
Okay, so your campaign, how's the campaign going at this point?
Well, as far as I know, it's going well, but, you never know until all the ballots are counted.
So is there a way? Now, this is a ward committeeman race. Ward committeeman is an unpaid job. As a matter of fact, it probably costs you money out of your pocket and time out of your pocket.
Well, thank God that there are a lot of people have been supportive and understand that it is an unpaid job and have been supportive of the ward organization and realize that it costs money to run a ward organization, and because we do have fundraising events and have been contributors, but we find it hard to meet the bills on some occasions.
Now, there is a challenge against you, of course. What's your record on getting candidates elected?
Our record on getting candidates elected?
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Okay.
I would say that we get, I'd say 90 to 95% of the candidates we support to get elected. and we certainly deliver anywhere from 75 to 85% of the vote for candidates, Democratic candidates in